Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We are continuing on exactly from where we left off. We currently have two jobs in the garage. We are going to work on this one in this episode, and both jobs are experience orders as well. But before we go any further, we're going to check the phone and see if there are any other experience orders. And I was just thinking about picking up that money bonus one, but yeah, I don't think we'll do that. Oh, sweet. There's one. Experience. We'll pick that up. Let's take a gander at the rest, and we'll dismiss them if they're not, which they ain't. So, something that I want to inform you guys about before we move on. At the end of our last episode, I got an achievement called Game Over. When I finished playing and I closed the game down, I found out that the achievement was for completing all the story mission orders. That's what it was for. So I do not know if we are going to get any more story missions in the game. You know, is it just going to repeat the whole lot again? Or is that it? We're done with story mission orders and therefore we are just going to be picking up normal orders. You know, experience orders, money bonus orders, or just ordinary standard ones. So I guess time will tell. That's something that we'll find out probably within the next few episodes. We'll find that out. Anyway, we're going to work on this bad boy, so let's take a gander. Strange noises coming from engine bay. Find and fix all engine problems. And that's a big list. Actually, we can mark that off. Brake system needs fixing. Repaint car in stock color. Right, let's see if we can move it to the test path. We can't because the engine won't start. So that means putting her up on the lift. And we're going to pop the hood. Whoop, it's one of those ones. Right, so let's do some diagnostics. Because we have a lot of parts that we have to discover. So we'll start off with the tire thread tester, just for the sake of thoroughness. Below average, there or thereabouts. Next, we're going to check out the electronics, so that means breaking out the old multimeter. This will test things like the battery, I believe, and ignition coil, stuff like that. Starter needs replacing. Throttle, I'd say that throttle needs replacing, but I'm not sure. We will see. Next, we're going to do a compression test. This might return some things for us. Because that engine doesn't look like it's in very good condition at all. And there was a lot of engine faults. Yep. Look, piston rings. So we have to break down the entire engine. Next, there is no OBD port. So that just leaves a fuel pressure test. I can see that the fuel filter is fine. So I'm going to guess that the fuel pump is going to be fine as well. Yeah, fuel pump is fine. Okay, let's mark off what we have discovered. Which ain't a heck of a lot, really. So it seems we still have a fair bit yet to discover. Right. So, ignition wires, you're coming off first. Air pipe filter, throttle, dual carburetor. This is the first time working on one of these now. I haven't worked on one of these before. This is new. Alright, now we'll get the head cover off. And we'll do the same over here. And I think we'll work on timing next. So, fan, you have to come off. Then the belts, water pump pulley, idler roller, another belt, crankshaft pulley, you may as well come off. Let's see, power steering pump. Look at the size of that thing. That's what she said. Right, bracket you should come off as well, and then the water pump. And get this bracket off. And we'll get the timing cover off. Now we can get the timing chain and the cam gear and the cam shaft. And now let's get the manifolds off. Move on to those next. And we'll do the same the far side. Alright, spark plugs, you're next for shaving. And I think the head should come off now, shouldn't it? Oh no, it won't. Damn. Alright, get spark plugs here as well. Right, so this is going to be... Let's see, this arm comes off here like so. Then we get the push rod valves. Or the push rods, not the valves. It's valve push rod actually. Alright, now the head should come off. Okay, starter we'll worry about later. Let's... Alright, now we'll get the push rods out here. I can see some of these definitely need to be replaced. Now we'll get the head off. Right, distributor cap will take you off for the sake of thoroughness. If I can find the damn thing. Jesus, it's happened again. Come back over here. Third time's a charm. Alright, let's see what the rotor's like. Rotor is in bad condition. We should be able to recondition a lot of stuff out of here. Right, so now we're going underneath her. So we need to lift her up. And once up, we need to drain the oil out of the sump. Alright, now we will take the oil pan off. And now we start undoing pistons. And we're going to completely undo the pistons and the crankshaft, so that we can recondition everything. With the aim of reconditioning everything and putting back new stuff where needed. Almost there. Right, next starter. Where are you? There you are. Get you off. And now we will work on the gearbox, so that means the drive shaft needs to come out. And next the gearbox itself, followed by the release bearing, the pressure plate, the clutch plate, and the flywheel, just to make sure that everything is fine. Because, yeah, that clutch plate is a bit dodgy. 40%, flywheel is fine. Oil filter will take you out. Oh, wait, no, the oil filter's alright. Okay, we can drop her down now. And we'll take out the pistons. So, pistons, you're coming out. Because some of you need to be replaced. And some of you need to be... new pistons need to be got, or piston rings need to be got. Do you know what? I think we'll pull out the block as well and recondition the block for them. It's not going to cost us a whole lot. And I just feel like doing that this time round. So we'll take out the block and then we will see what we can recondition. Which I would imagine is going to be a fairly comprehensive list. There's going to be a lot of stuff here we can recondition. Yeah, look at all this. This is great. Nearly done. There we go. Alright. Let's get to putting it all back together. Right. Crankshaft is next, so she needs to go up for that. Recondition crankshaft. Now the flywheel. And we'll put the one that came off it back on. Same with the clutch plate, which is reconditioned. And now the pressure plate. And the release bearing. And again, the one that came off it can go back on. And now we do the gearbox itself, all reconditioned. Followed by the starter, reconditioned as well. And now the drive shaft. Lovely. Right, now we can drop her down and we'll get the pistons back in. But before we do that, what we're going to do now is we're going to mark off all the items that need to be replaced. And that way we will have a better idea of what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. Okay. So, actually it's a bit too much now here, isn't it? Alright, I can see here. Right, so this is a new piston, which we have. We don't have rings. Right. We need to do a search for those. Piston. Rings. And we'll go for 6 of them. And we'll buy 4 pistons, just in case. Right. This is a new one here. This is a new one here. This one is a second-hand one with new rings. This is a second-hand one with new rings. And I think that's it. All the rest are second-hand. Whoa, hang on. Do not want to put new rings if I don't have to. So second-hand piston and second-hand rings. Which is a really, really bad thing to do. Second-hand piston, second-hand rings. And just one more second-hand piston with second-hand rings. Like so. Right. Let's see what we can mark off now. Wonderful. Okay. Heads. Let's get the heads back on. Ooh, that head. We need a new head there. Engine head B T series. Okay. engine head. I wonder if I'd done a search for T series. There we go. So I think this is the first time working on a Bentley, if memory serves. I don't think we've worked on a Bentley before. Ah, we need another exhaust manifold. Okay, spark plugs, I believe, are all second-hand. To confirm that, we'll mark off these engine heads like so. Yeah, they're all second-hand spark plugs. Okay, now we'll move over to the other side. Quick gander here. Oh, that looks like a new one. Yeah, that is definitely a new one. Any more new ones? I think that's it. Yep, okay, all the rest are second-hand. Okay, I need an exhaust manifold for a T series as well. So that would be here. Okay, let's get the power. Oh shit, I need a power steering pump. Power steering pump, there we go. Ooh, push rod valves. That one now I do need to check. I tell you what, let's put in the camshaft first. Cam gear, we need a new one of those. V8 OHV. Shiza. There's a lot of stuff. Can I mark off anything else? I can, there we go. This is going to help. Okay. This should make it a little bit easier to tell. Maybe if I come over this side. Okay, so all of these valve push rods, second-hand ones, can go in. Okay, now let's move over to the other side, and it looks like we need 3 here, so let's buy those 3. Excuse me. What was the other thing I needed? I needed something else as well. Oh, it was a cam gear, wasn't it? Cam gear V8 OHV. Right. V8 OHV, and it's a cam gear. There we go. And we'll go back to T series, because we're likely going to need more stuff there. Alright, so this is a new one. That's a new one. And this one here is a new one as well. So all the rest are second hand. Okay, now rocker arm. We have 1. Ignition distributor can go back in. Recondition rotor can go back in. Distributor cap recondition can go back. Clips can go back because I'll forget about them otherwise. Right, rock around T-series. So I need to find one of those. There we go. Now the head cover. Followed by the ignition wires, which we need as well. Let's start rebuilding the timing. We'll move on to that next. Now I think the timing chain is alright. It is. We'll use the one that came off it. Water pump, reconditioned. Followed by the timing cover. And the crankshaft pulley. Whoa! We'll use the bracket that came off it. Alright, idler roller, you can go back. Water pump pulley, you can go back. What am I missing here? There's a bracket over here, isn't there, somewhere? Here. That bracket can go back. Alternator, that can definitely go back. Now, a belt, followed by the other belt, followed by the fan, which should be reconditioned. And now the intake manifold. We need an intake manifold. Intake manifold. Where are you, you little slippery? There it is. And we need the ignition wires, so I'll pick those up here now as well. Okay, ignition wires. Now the carburetor. Followed by the throttle. Followed by the air filter pipe. And that should be looking pretty damn good. Okay, let's mark off what we have done. And that should lead us on to what is yet to be finished. Right, so there's two things still not discovered. I'm thinking, well, hello. Air filter cover, you're one. Probably the air filter. What would be the other item? Could it be the radiator? Doesn't look like it's that bad. Let's see if we can recondition those two parts. We can. Alright, let's put those back in. Unusual design, isn't it? Very unusual design. Unique, one might say. Right, so one more part yet to be discovered. What the hell would that be? The battery we already know is fine. Yeah, there it is, it's fine. Could it be an exhaust section? It's not the brake servo. There's literally nothing else around there. See if we can recondition that brake servo. Put the brand new reconditioned one back in. Right, I think we should lift her up and start with the bottom end, because that has to be done still. And you know what, while we're here, let's quickly take off the wheels. Yep, there's some work to be done there. And there, for sure. Right. Let's get the bottom end of this bad boy put back together. Crankshaft bearing cap next. Looking so much better now than when we got our hands on it originally. Far better condition. Right, oil pan, you can go back on. Oil filter, the one that came off, can go back on. Exhaust section, you need to be removed. Let's have a gander. It was that front exhaust section. That's what it was. Okay, so what's left is the brake system and then repainting the car. So let's get that front exhaust section. There it is there. Right, now we're going to work on the brakes. So calipers, off you come. Brake pads, you're coming off too. The brake disc. Right, we're looking alright there so far. Let's move over the far side. This caliper is in really bad condition. Pads, bad condition as well. Right. Caliper, brake disc, ventilators. Right, so the rest of the stuff is probably down the back. Brake pads weren't included in this, were they? Well, not in all of them. Let's remove caliper. Alright, this one did need brake pads. So we'll put a reconditioned caliper back on. Now the wheel can go back on. Now we'll move over to the other side. Get this side put back together. Now here's where the second-hand pads can go back. And second-hand... Do you know what? A reconditioned caliper. Because we'll be able to recondition the old one. And the wheel. Okay, now we move down the back. And we'll take both wheels off, and then we'll start working on what needs to be replaced. So, caliper, brake pads are fine, brake disc is not fine. Brake disc, brake pads were fine, and a new caliper. And the wheel can go back on. Right. That caliper definitely needs to be replaced. Pads, alright. Brake disc, not alright. I think that's it. It just needs oil and needs to be repainted. Yep, all done there. Wunderbar. Right. So, let's drop her down. When she's coming down, I'm going to recondition those old parts. Now we'll put some oil in the engine. If I can find... Ah, there it is. Should be done any second now, I would say. There she goes. Drop the hood. And we'll just make sure everything done there, everything done there, everything done there. Repaint the car in stock color. Right, so we're going to move it to the paint shop. And I'm not sure what color would be nice. Red, apparently red. No, that doesn't suit that car. That does not suit that car. At least I don't think so. Right. All done, all done, all done, and all done. Have I got everything? So we spent 4,200 on parts and we're getting just over 12,000 back in payout. Cha-ching! Right, before we finish up, let's check the phone. See if there are any experience orders available. There are not. So... in our next episode, we're going to work on this bad boy, so we'll put him in lifter A, and this one can be moved to lifter B. And, yeah, I guess we're going to wrap it up there. So, thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. My name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So, until then, take care.